Hey everybody, Garrett here. Are you excited for today's live stream? I know that I am, but while you wait, I have a little PSA. For those of you guys that don't know what that means, I didn't know what it means. I'm kind of old like that. That's a public service announcement, and it's about USARK. If you don't know who USARK is, they're the only ones with common sense regarding the pet trade in Washington. Everybody should be supporting them by now, so we've conveniently placed a link down in the description that you can click to go to usark.org and sign up for a membership. I think the lower memberships are like $5. That goes a really long way in helping them to protect our rights, because USARK fights for our rights. With all that said, welcome to the Superdwarf Show. Hey, what's up everybody?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome back to Out Reptiles. My name is Garrett.
I'm Thomas, and this is the Superdwarf Show.
Superdwarf Show. Woo-hoo.
Yup.
We got a good one for this week.
And a lot of big changes coming in the future.
Are we talking about big changes already?
I don't know if we're talking about big changes. I just want to excite them. Every week is always big changes.
There's going to be big changes, guys. Get excited. Like the video if you're excited for big changes.
In other words, another day in Out Reptiles.
Another day in paradise. Yep.
How's your week going? Good?
Oh, yeah, it was good. Boy, I had to do like business owner stuff today. You saw Donna came in.
Yeah, I met Donna for the first time.
Our CPA. We sat down, pulled out a folding table, went over all the financials and details, and she was laughing at me. She's like, "You're just like my husband. He's a sales guy, like sales, marketing, whatever background too."
But
I hate details.
Future's bright.
Yeah. Oh no, everything's good. Super dwarves are awesome. You know what I mean? It's all looking good, but I hate it. I'd rather not do that stuff. I just like playing with the snakes, hanging with you guys. So these Wednesday nights are good stuff for us. But yeah.
What are you holding there?
Oh, this is Snowflake. You guys want to see Snowflake? I figured I'd have a snake out. This is probably one of my favorite combos.
Hold her a little to the left. The focus box is on my chest.
Right there?
Your left,
on your chest?
Yes.
Chest.
So if you walk up, the focus goes back to me instead of,
You have a very selfish focus box.
Yep.
This is an Amory Motley Tiger.
Consistent.
She's Caliatoa and Jamp. The Jamp really cleans it up. The Caliatoa gives you all that dark background and speckling and stuff. And she's just a really, really pretty one. She would have been named on this live stream. Look at all those porthole windows on the sides that I love from the Motley Tigers. And then she has kind of matching ones at the top because she's got the real classic tiger pattern, not striped.
Great, yeah. All right.
And then you anery that out. And instead of having like a brown snake or whatever, you get these like purpley gray ones. They're so pretty. Man, I'll tell you, when we went, we just released that Kabilka episode last week. If you guys haven't seen it, you'll have to go check out Superdwarf versus the World with Justin Kabilka from the Ball Pythons. That was a good episode. But one of the snakes that was in there, I'm sure those of you guys who follow Ball Pythons, that just blew me away was the anery. Well, I guess it's Axanthic, right? Axanthic Desert Ghost clown that he produced. Oh my goodness. It was hot because all of that purple, gray, almost blue, Justin and I were talking about, colors that I love in these retics, like this girl's head. It just never shows on camera, the amazing colors that these things are. But anyway, that color tone all cleaned up, on the ball python looked really cool too. So it really makes me excited because that's a triple recessive. We don't have a lot of that. We certainly don't have it in high percentage super dwarfs, but we're going there. So every time I see, the ball python breeding selectively is way more advanced than the retics. So it's really cool to see kind of a glimpse of the future.
What did you call retic breeders? You called them...
I said, speaking of myself, I said we're a bunch of knuckle draggers, you know what I mean? Walking around like the Neanderthals of the snake industry, And...
you guys aren't Neanderthals. We're talking about the other guys.
I'm talking about me. Compared to some of these guys. If you think about like arboreals, like the Amazon, basin emeralds and stuff like that, they've been captive breeding since the 70s. They're so advanced and not really any morphs there. mostly just selective breeding. So it's crazy to see where that can go. And then you have the other side of it with like ball pythons and stuff where you've had, it's not that ball pythons have been getting bred longer than retics because they haven't, but you have just such a huge, massive amount of people working on those projects and so few people in this genre that it gets pushed forward really fast.
Well,
plus they grow up and breed faster.
People like Justin Kubilka who are just supercomputers of human who throw themselves so far deep into
It's funny you call him a supercomputer because we were both hanging out with him and I was like, I just feel like I spent the afternoon with Elon Musk. Do you feel that way? Like I didn't notice that about Justin before, but like hanging out with him for the day or whatever, I was like, I don't know, he kind of talks like him even. He's sort of a visionary, changing
smart.
the course of, look at ball python breeders, everybody that's got a clown ball python out there now, that's Justin's fault. Whether you bought it from him or not, the stuff that he's doing with clowns, because clowns were one of the earliest morphs, and nobody cares about some of the other early morphs, but the clowns have made a huge comeback because of him.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that.
Right,
how about the Superdwarf show?
Guys?
If you haven't seen the video, go back and check it out.
We got, I'm going to just run through from the top real quick. Y'all been chatting up since the beginning. Oh, we got God Butcher in here, Geck, Owen, Shlomo, what's up, Christina, Samantha Arnett, Dylan Clary, Richard Bilbo in the chat. Hey, Rob, get back to work, man. Inside Joke, Bryn, Tadena, Hurt Panel Forums, Bob Evans, what is up, Lori Torini. We got everybody in here today.
Oh, Lori, we were just filming some of the training of your snakes going on there behind the scenes. They're doing really good. Yeah, you could tell they're on it, man. They're quick learners.
Well, and I hadn't been that involved in the target training stuff. But when she opened the tub, I was like, it's like Jurassic Park in a tub. Like it was way more than I was expecting.
Are you talking about all the decorations?
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, this snake is like living it up.
Yeah. Got some enrichment stuff in the enclosure there.
What's up, Dan Tan, Eric Veach, Adam Webb.
Good stuff.
How's everybody doing? Laura Thompson.
Hadley's on her way out. You should come say hi. Hi, goodbye to everyone. Hurry. Here,
go around that way. Go around that way.
Say hi, bye to Hadley.
Right,
you guys
Hadley.
remember her from earlier live streams?
There we go. Hi. Bye.
Everybody. All right, bye.
See you later.
See you later. Have fun at the gym.
Try my very best.
That's definitely totally where I'm going after work too. The gym.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
Me too.
Every time.
Every time. Not McDonald's on the way home from work.
Yep. No. See you later, Hadley.
Bye.
Hadley's working on some fun stuff for the future too. Good stuff.
Yep.
She was actually the one training your snake this time, Lori. All right, what kind of questions do we have for the show? Let's get this show on the road.
Well, first off, a little mini announcement for Patreon. We have two breeder spots available. Those are our most exclusive. They're hard to come by.
We mentioned it last week.
They free up like once every maybe 3 months, 2 months. So if you want to do it...
I don't think we've ever had two open since they started.
Yeah, so either we're doing a bad job or, circumstances. But we have two open. I didn't know where else to go with that.
I don't know. I think it's pretty happy. Those of you guys that are in the chat that have had breeder level before, you can do it.
If you're on our Patreon tier live streams, they're like that, but more advanced, more snake breeding related. And they happen every other week from Patreon streams. So every week you get a new stream.
It's fun. It's fun stuff. You
also get a business card. Fancy, bougie.
Check it out. These are like VIP levels. I'll throw this out there. If anyone joins the Patreon breeder level that hasn't been there before, we'll give you one of these swanky cards. These are actually metal cards. They're copper. The whole card is made from copper. And then they're laser cut.
Are these updated or are these the same ones?
They're these are
more of like a carbon fiber look than I remember.
Yeah, no, it's they're textured. So it's a textured copper metal. You can see the little laser cut diamonds up in there, and then this part is painted.
Self-defense item. That's
exactly it. We actually use these around the shop for quite a bit. I saw Rob
cutting
grab one of the old logo ones and was like scraping stuff, cutting eggs. I don't know about that, but that's cool. So the copper colored snake on there is actually just laser etched the paint off and reveal the copper underneath. So it's pretty cool. Some of the ones that are out and about, like if you leave it out in the rain, it tarnishes. It ends up looking like the Statue of Liberty. So 2 Patreon spots open. Just a little fun thing I just thought of. next, if you guys sign up for those this week, I'll throw you one of those cards. Those are usually like super VIP exclusive, fun little
friend
thing.
of Out Reptiles.
Pretty fun, yeah. Yep.
All right. So if you guys don't know, we pull questions from YouTube posts we put up every week. We'll put one up after the stream, scheduled to go up at 7. If we miss your question, go ahead and drop it there, and we'll get to it next week. But
you're also welcome to super chat, and we'll just stop everything and answer your question.
It'll bring
up
a nice picture of Rob.
So if you're like, they never answer my question, just super chat.
We'll play some music.
We'll answer your question right now.
Sneak peek on the music. Some throwback. That's the sound.
You still need to increase your what you call it?
Volume or selection.
Probably need to decrease the volume after
I heard I fixed it. Apologies to you guys last week. I fixed it after. I felt bad.
Selection is what I was going for. All right, let's hear the questions.
All right, our first one from DJT is the GOAT. Wanted to know what the baseline they should save up for with what you have in the incubator. Based on my research, I'm going to spend over $1,000 for a good Superdwarf with a morph. I initially suggested a golden child, but may I be interested in something else depending on what you have available, but I may be interested. Is there any way to get a clear list of what you have availability with price? I know you want to match the snake to the owner, but my interests are pretty broad, and I am open to spending more for what I want. I'm also willing to save up some cash.
You need to have a conversation with us. So send us an email, info@reachoutReptiles.com, and you can talk about that kind of stuff. So you're saying a good Superdwarf with a morph. I think if you're going for a morph that's more in demand, like say a golden child, and you're like, I want more than 50% Superdwarf in it, you might spend over $1,000. Mm-hmm. But if you're like, hey, listen, I'm not into like specific locality or bloodline or whatever. I'm looking for a golden child, let's say, that is going to get 7 or 8 feet long and not be, super ridiculously big or whatever. Then maybe $750 is probably about half the price of the super high percentage ones. And if it's just as a pet, I mean, tell us what your budget is. Tell us what your size range is on an adult, and we can email you back a full and clear list. You can have all the availability on what we have now, as well as stuff for the future. But that's what we're doing when we're vetting things. What I don't want is someone goes, well, I want a Superdwarf or I want a Dwarf. They give us very little information. They have one expectation of the snake in their mind, and then the reality might be different. We want to make sure that we understand what it is that you're looking for out of an animal. So just kind of give us all your parameters that you have. If you're open to different morphs, we can send you a list with all those different morphs. But if you're like, give me like, okay, let's say you're willing to go up to $1,500 if it was like the world's most amazing animal, then say $1,500 is the most I want to spend, and 9 feet long is the biggest I want to get. Then we can give you everything that's going to be less than 9 feet long.
So much more like consultant based. You're getting consulted into, figuring out what you want based on your needs.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get it because we do it a little bit differently. Like we don't post any ads online.
It's not a straight go through, see what you like,
put the price, put the animal, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to actually fit the animal to you. And usually that works out really well because you end up getting what you want, not what I happen to have for sale right at the moment. Like you might at a reptile show or whatever. Sometimes our system doesn't serve people because they don't understand like a market value. Like we talked to a guy that ended up buying a reptile at a show from someone else, and they said it was a Superdwarf. The percentages are a little bit questionable. They didn't quite understand, but the guy assured them that this was an $8,000 retic. And he says, but I like you, so I'll give you $4,000 on this animal right now, which would be a red flag to me right away, because if it's a good animal and it is in high demand like the one that these people wanted, why would you drop the price
Most
half?
People are not going to walk up to someone and get,
just like that.
Leave that good of an impression.
Right. If I went to go get a Ferrari, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this one's super exclusive. It's $250,000. But you look nice. I'll give it to you for $100,000.
That's a sales pitch.
Right. And so the issue was we've never posted an ad. They actually had emailed us right before they went to the show, and they asked us about the snake. But they emailed us on the weekend. We won't work on the weekend. They didn't wait for a reply. They paid $4,000 for the snake. We ended up emailing them the price that we had for the snake was $2,500.
Yeah.
But they had nothing to compare it to except the made up $8,000 price that the person said. So they were all upset.
Yeah.
So I do understand that You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for you to shop us against other breeders or whatever in that case. But I feel like most people that reach Out Reptiles, they want more than just the animal. They want the history and the bloodlines.
Well, we're also, I think you're still carving the niche out as far as you're still working to create a standard for these animals that puts the animals first instead of the money first. And you're also trying to combat the other people that are not as willing to invest as much into the quality in the back, like the history and the bloodline. And so there's a lot of misinformation, and just because some things look the same and are priced similar does not necessarily mean they are the same at all.
Yeah, true.
So,
true enough. All right,
sweet.
on.
Next question, Pumpkin and Chow asked main question. Yeah, we got some people in the chat. Matt Summers is shouting out the couches. They're very comfortable. This is the most comfortable time of my week.
We did get a third couch today.
Yep.
Another leather couch, just for the staff.
Just for Matt Summers, actually.
Just for you, Matt. Yep. You need to come back so you can sit on your couch.
Mm-hmm. We promise no one will sit on it in the meantime. All right, Pumpkin and Chow asked, my main question is, what made you choose Superdwarf retics?
Ooh.
This is a big question, but be succinct, if that's possible.
I like all animals. I narrowed that down to reptiles and fish because my mom was allergic to anything with fur and feathers. The thing is, you can't really sit down and stare an animal eye to eye and have a personal connection with very many kinds of reptile and fish. With retics,
Super chat. Put a pin in that.
I don't want to dance this one. Oh, look at Rob on the super chat. What's up, Rob?
Yeah, I resized it. I fixed all the things. Here, you wrap up that last question, and then
that's it. I can stare into their eyes and enjoy them. The mainland retics are great, but they get a little bit too big. I love them. I have one. I probably have 15 if I really count. But I'm not breeding those. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make those for more people. Lots of people can keep and enjoy a dwarf or a superdwarf retic. So that's why you can stare into their eyes, have some kind of a weird connection with that animal because of their intelligence level. Right, are you connecting with her? Do you want to hold her?
No, I'm good.
Uh-huh.
For now.
Not that connected.
Nah, I mean...
What's up, Christina?
We'll see how it goes. Christina says, hey, like y'all. Thank you, Christina. Aiden is doing an amazing job, but Archimedes' enclosure is lonely. When can he come home? That also brings into question, somebody had asked, when is the weather going to be good enough to ship? What are we planning? So we need to set it up. Let's see. Next week, we're probably going to do a bunch of shipping. Next week's after the 7th, right? No, next Wednesday is the 9th. But. Right. Next week starts with the 7th. We ship every Tuesday and Wednesday for arrival Wednesday and Thursday to the FedEx hub as per Ship Your Reptiles guidelines. So you could probably get set up, Christina, for next week arrival. Bam. Hit it. What's up, Nathan? It's so quiet around here. Nathan says, my mother is allergic to things that look like snakes, so that's why I gravitated towards... so that's what I gravitated towards. Allergic to things that look like snakes, huh? Oh, man. Oh, that sounds kind of like an excuse, Nathan. Have you ever checked that scientifically? It sounds a little bit made up. Oh, man, Super Chats are rolling in. Super chat. There's like so many... There's just a limited amount that you can do sitting down. That's what I've realized. Josh says, Clint's Reptiles room in Utah turned me on to ROR. I'm looking at getting my first Superdwarf retic, and I'm talking with Joe. Do you just breed for locality morphs/morphs, or are you guys fans of wild types too? Us? Oh, we do both. Goat lines. Yeah. So I mean, I'm a total fan of like crossing for the morphs and stuff like that. And a lot of the locality crosses, you'll end up with some wild types in the clutches. So like this girl, for example, Anery Motley Tiger. We had Motleys, we had Tigers, we had Normals in that clutch. We had Anerys in that clutch. Me personally, my favorites are the wild types, especially the pure locality stuff. The morphs are cool, and they're like, I just see them as kind of like the cheater way of getting cool snakes. I would rather take 80 years to make one change slightly. I don't know why. That seems cool to me, but I'm into the bonsai style of it. Nothing we do is like quick sale, quick breeding, get rich quick. It's all about the longevity of the lifetime spent with the animals for us. So, All right, we got a couple questions from the chat.
Yeah.
Erica Christian asked, I've been emailing G.I. Joe and I'm on a wait list, but is there a way to have a conversation with you about the snake I'm looking for?
Woo. Yeah, absolutely. There's a phone number. You can try to get us. I'm getting like 1 million calls right now. Joe is starting next week, Monday, full-time here. So that's going to free a lot up because like today, for example, I was meeting with the tax lady the whole day. So I wasn't able to take anybody's calls about, hey, I have some questions about the snake.
Let's go. Somebody got the Patreon spot.
Woo! Call us next week.
No, the breeder tier is next week.
We got the custom card for you. Whoop! There it is.
This is your custom card right here.
It's Dylan. All right. Let's see. How do I get on the waiting list?
Oh, this one just keeps going. I forgot.
Dylan, very easy to get on our waiting list. You're going to email info@Reptiles. I need your name, your phone number, your email, and what you want on the list for. If you send in an email like that and you get a reply, you are on the list. If you don't get a reply, send it again, send it again, send it again. That's Joe's department. You could badger him. Starting next week, for everybody that is asking, who was it that was asking about the phone call?
Erica Christian.
Erica, the number is 412-925-1933. Monday to Friday next week, 9 to 5. And you'll be able to get them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Sweet. We also had another question in the chat. Let's see. Where was it? God Butcher asked, can you talk about 66% and why they can be a problem with sizes not planned for coming out of them?
Well, 66% usually when you see, a little bit confusing when we track like percentages of lineages, like localities. The way that works, it's almost like human races, right? Mm-hmm. Like if I said I'm 50% Guatemalan, right? And 25% Polish and 25% Lithuanian, for example. That's based on the people in my family. You can have a number of different traits, and that's kind of, and they're not exactly all the same, because kind of like we were talking about earlier, a lot of breeders don't have the same. They can make the same thing on paper, but they don't have the same quality standards.
There's almost not enough metrics that actually represent. If they're
like, well, I think I remember my male being a 75% Superdwarf, or that's what somebody that I bought it from sold it to me as, so that's what I'm going to count it as. Rather than saying, mine's a 75% Superdwarf because I've tracked the last 2 generations, not the couch.
Not over the mic.
No, mic's fine, just not the couch here.
Man, get out of here.
Man, I got to save this couch. I'll use my pants. There we go. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Man,
she is ready to burst.
Hold on. There's a little bit right in here.
Oh, bro.
Whoa. Wait, where's the focus box?
No, not over my water bottle.
I'm going to do all that. You better save your water bottle because this is the focus box. It's selfishly focused right over you and all your stuff.
Oh, man, dude.
Oh. There you go.
You have to clean this up when you're done, right?
I already cleaned the part I need to. That was the couch.
Oh, man.
All right, Snowflake, you're going away. You better jump back on the couch here.
Reluctantly. As you can see, the things just happen live and we roll with them. Cut off for enclosure pigs. So that's for a video we're doing. We'll probably be filming it tomorrow or Friday, if I had to guess. So get them in tonight, tomorrow morning, however soon you can get them up. That's how you can get in there. We're just going to be reacting to your enclosures. We'll rate them. We're not going to be like jerks about it, but we're just going to go through, look at what you guys have, enjoy some cool enclosure setups, rate them, and talk about the cool things you guys did. That's the idea, at least. Christina Hill with the 2 bones. Woo! Yeah, come back.
I was conveniently waiting until you were done.
But I can still see.
Now that Snowflake is all empty, I had to get a reloaded one. This is Pam.
Oh my gosh.
Check out Pam. This is a high percentage Superdwarf marble platinum female. Look how good she's looking. She's so pretty.
Alright, I'm getting a paper towel. Here's the next question. Is this one right here.
Admiral Dylan, Payne. Your card.
Admiral Payne. Start with that one.
What's this?
Admiral Payne.
Admiral Payne says, how big would a golden child Superdwarf male get? What percentage of Superdwarf do you have them at? Well, the different percentages will get different sizes, and so will the different bloodlines. So we have golden child males that stay around 2,000 grams. That's basically a ball python size, and all the way up. Actually, some of our smallest bloodlines are 50% Calatoas, and then they go up from there. So what percentages do we have them at? I don't think we have any straight normal golden child males right now, but we have quite a few clutches coming. So we'll have everything from 25% Superdwarf, like Calatoa 25 Jamp, all the way up to, I don't know, we just sold a bunch of 75% Calatoas, which I think are the highest golden child Superdwarfs that have been sold yet. So I have a variety for you. Generally, the smaller sizes, smaller bloodlines cost more, but not always. So again, shoot an email, let us know what you want, and we can get it, but that's going to be your basic answer. The 7 to 9 foot kind of dwarf, Superdwarf ones, they start around $750, $850, and then they'll go up from there. A really nice quality one might be $2,000.
Side note, if you are someone that receives a Reach Out Reptiles box with 3 questionable stains on the top, just know it started here.
All right. We got another super chat from Eric.
I'll play some music, and I'm going to go throw this away.
What's he say? Is that a Motley Tiger?
Is that a Motley Tiger here?
It was a Motley Tiger. It's an Anery Motley Tiger, Eric. This one now is a platinum marble. See? Doesn't she look kind of like your platinum? Except more marbly patterned. This one's actually super cool. Can you guys see that like black ticking on the edge of each scale? It's got like a fishnet thing going on. I love it. But if you like the really bold black and yellows, then we have a 50% Superdwarf Platy Marble Girl that was actually a holdback from Andrew Acevedo. He only picks back the best stuff for himself until I steal it from him and sell it to you. She's available now. All right, next question. Dallas Esparza. His new berm hasn't eaten yet. He's had it in 3 weeks, hasn't eaten in a month. When should he start to worry? He's going to try live feeding. What if he refuses again? What should he do? I'm no expert in Burmese pythons, but I can tell you that the biggest thing is trying to figure out why he isn't eating. It could be that he's a fresh hatchling and he's never eaten. And some breeder kind of like pawned him off on you real quick to make a sale, or maybe they hatched a clutch right before a show came on and they didn't want to bother to kind of get him established first. So you could be dealing with that. That's going to be a lot more challenging. Or it could be something like you completely turned around his environment, going from the breeder or pet store or wherever you got him to your place, and that made him really nervous. So you may need to like kind of get back to basics, make sure that the environment is very secure. I would always start by getting a temp gun, make sure the temps are right, and go from there, and then you'll find out why he hasn't eaten. Also, I know a lot of times people are like, hey, I don't want him to be aggressive in the cage, so I feed him outside the cage. They'll take a brand new baby snake that's kind of still terrified of humans, and they pull it out of the cage like this, and then they drop it in a tub, and then they feed it there, and the snake is like scared out of its mind.
Super freaked out, yeah.
And it doesn't eat, and they wonder why. So what you want to do is change all your actions around what that animal needs to feel safe and secure, and then it should eat for you.
Because the establishing process is going to be completely different than the rest of you owning that animal. You just have to get it comfortable. It's like when you move somewhere.
And God forbid it's like stubborn and it never eats and you have no specific information. That's kind of where it comes in buying from a breeder. Now, I don't know if he did buy from a breeder or not. If you did, I highly recommend you just call that breeder and say, hey man, the snake has never eaten. Here's a picture of my setup. Here's what all the temps are at. What am I doing wrong? This is the process I use. And try to troubleshoot it. If you got it from like a pet store or something, you don't know the history at all, or like from a show and someone flipped it to you, I don't know that you'll know the background. You have to start from scratch. Super chat. Who is it?
Jay Hill Jr. Ganya Gahaka says, hit the like button. 43 likes and 77 people watching.
Thank you.
That means 34 of you guys
don't
like
know
us.
what's
up, hate us, absolutely do not want to be here, but you're here
That's
to make
pretty
fun of
sad.
us when we make mistakes.
That is pretty sad.
Contact your
like
state
button, guys. It
senators
helps us
about
out.
the Lacey Act amendments. Yes.
Heck yeah.
Support
So
US
if
ARC
you guys
is a
don't know
link
what
in
we're
the
talking about with
description.
US ARC, I know that we played a little commercial at the beginning of this for it. Go to usark.org.
In the description.
It's right there in the description. You guys can just click the link and it will tell you who your senator is for your state with a copy of a letter that you can send them. You know, I saw my buddy Jason from Morph Mixology
Yep.
posted a reply letter from his senator in Montana, which was really cool. I highly recommend, if any of you guys are watching from Montana, you have an awesome senator who's said, I hear you, I'm concerned. It's at a committee level right now to see whether it'll even still be in the bill by the time it gets to the Senate for voting. He says, but if it is, I'm going to look for that and I'll represent you, which is super cool. Now, if everyone else that was in Montana wrote in letters to that same senator, you know he's going to be like, wow, I heard from I got personal correspondences from, I don't know, 20, 40, 50, 200 people.
Yeah.
I should do this, you know? But it was pretty cool to see Jason wrote in and got a reply on that. So thanks to Jason for
And the more
writing
respectful
back.
and the more that you do it, the more the senators will be like, wow, these reptile people aren't a bunch of punks like I
Well, you don't know what they think, but the thing is that they are trying to represent their constituents. You know, so you have to say, I'm your constituent. Please represent me in this way at the Senate. If you don't say it, there's no amount of work U.S. Art can do to fight bills that get passed because we don't participate at the more local level in our government.
Yep.
So you guys got to get involved. Whatever state you're in, you got to write this in. It's not just about retics. It's about all kinds of stuff. It's really a huge pet trade thing. So, big deal.
Oh,
Jacob.
Jacob Wick. Oh my gosh, that's my brother.
Let's do it. I think this is your dance. This better be a good one for your bro.
This is called the I Had a Stroke, and I don't know.
Go. This is your twin brother, right?
Yes.
I imagine this is exactly how he looks dancing to this song.
No comment.
What's up, Jacob?
What's up, man? He's actually going to be here. If all goes well, he'll be here in like 2 weeks.
Woohoo!
Might take him to the shop, show him around a little bit.
We should switch him out on the next Superdwarf show.
He's not going to be here on Wednesday, but he might be here.
Would that be funny if this was not actually the real Thomas? Did you guys know that Thomas was an identical twin? The more
Most
you
people,
know.
the more you know, the more you can do whatever you want with that information. But yeah, I think he'll be here beginning of summer, end of May type vibe, and maybe
Sweet.
We'll get him on a Wednesday night.
Cool.
That'd be
do
cool.
It.
Jacob, make that work.
It's all on you, Jacob. Thanks
All
for
right,
the support.
hit the like button for Jacob.
All right, what's our next question?
Our next question is Technoraptor777 says, what are the best methods for making your snake feel safe and comfortable with you? Which is super relevant because we were just talking about it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the big thing is going to be, like, my kids break it down like this. They say the slower you move, the slower they move. Now, that might be when you're handling them. If you're going, oh, and it's a snake that lives in a tree and feels like it's going to fall all the time, it's not going to feel comfortable. So, supporting its whole body. But the slower you move, the slower they move can also apply to the way that you approach the animal from the time it comes home. Right? So, you want to set it up, make it feel secure, before you start going playing with it every day and stuff like that and kind of pushing its levels and making it stress out. Make sure that it's eating regularly, it's on a good schedule. You know, you can interact with it in more minor ways, but you want to make sure that it feels comfortable by allowing it to kind of choose the interaction, come to you a little bit. If it doesn't want to, that's okay. And you can just, what you want to do is slowly expand their comfort zone by interacting with them in ways where they never are really truly uncomfortable, you know, and then you can make the situations more and more strange without ever actually making them uncomfortable.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? To the point where they would have considered like a traumatic experience.
You're pushing their comfort zone in a comfortable way.
You're just opening them up to new environments, situations.
Plus, you're like the whole experience. You're bonding with them. You're understanding them. You're not just saying, "Hey, I want you to be happy." You're also getting a level of investment and feeling of connection with that animal.
Yeah, it takes a little time to build it up. It takes really long. Some animals never get it, especially if you get a species that's like less intelligence, more instincts. There's some animals that just don't work well around humans, you know. But if you're talking about something like a dwarf or superdwarf retic that you can form a bond with it, you just got to start at their speed.
We got Chris K. tuning in from Germany. Welcome, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Representing for the Germans out there. He
doing?
asked, do you ship to Germany? Greetings from over the sea.
Woohoo! We do not. Sorry.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Germany. I've been talking to you about it forever. Getting
That'd be
back out to
fun.
the ham show after the whole COVID thing is over. Maybe now after the whole Ukraine invasion thing is over and the world's a crazy place. But I'd love to get back out there and do that kind of stuff. But no, we don't do any export of any of this kind of stuff at the moment.
It's a bit of a challenging, global environment to do that.
I mean, honestly, it's just as a business decision, we're selling out of all our animals every year. And for us to take on the export side to get you an animal is very expensive. Yeah, it's a big headache. It usually works best like when you see American breeders sending them out. They're doing like large shipments. And it might be you and a bunch of other people, but they're sending 75 snakes at a time or something like that.
It's a logistical nightmare to make that happen right now.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, if you can find somebody that is bringing over reticulated pythons on a master CITES permit that's willing to act as an import broker for you, and they're an American, that's sending stuff over, I have no problem, you buy the snake, tell me where to ship it. I'll ship it to that person, and then it's between you and them. So we do have customers that arrange stuff like that. You just have to kind of, I guess, find that person. So.
Yep, and we don't ship to Canada yet. But same thing goes.
It's the same thing. Yeah, we have done several shipments up to Canada. But again, larger number of snakes people took on. There's Reptiles Express is the Canadian-based company, because there's an American one too. You want to do the Canadian-based company. They'll actually handle exports for you. So we do a few shipments like that because they have a pretty easy to work with reptile exporter.
Oh,
so
what's up, Gina? Welcome to the party.
Hey.
Let's see. Medusa the Hognose asked, "Would you ever consider having an exotic mammal as a pet?" Which is very fitting.
We just got a mammal as a pet. It's pretty exotic.
You may have seen I don't think we put it on Retic Reptiles Instagram. It was on my personal Instagram, but it'll be on our vlog this Saturday.
Yeah, I'll give them a sneak peek right now. Let's see here.
Do you have the potato picture?
No, I got him playing over here though. Check it out. Oh, come on. Focus box. Terrible. There it is. I don't know if you can see what that is. But there's our new pet. And when I say ours, I say my daughter. I mean my daughter Kira.
Yep.
Has very little to do with me other than allowing her to get it.
Yeah, they actually
and
brought it in
for
the
it
shop
and sponsoring
yesterday.
for it and driving all day to pick it up and bring it.
Well, we'll spoil it now. It's a Sphinx cat.
Oh, he's totally spoiling it now. Tune back in. Do they even know about our vlog channel? Do you guys know we have a second YouTube channel?
There's a link in the description. All the links.
It's called
link in the
Reach.
description. It's where you can see the extra stuff that happens, the stuff behind the scenes.
It's with the family, with the employees, all that kind of stuff. We're building the base for that now, and then we're going to launch it pretty big with a bunch of cool reptile-related adventures and stuff like
collaborations.
that. Yep. It's gonna
get on the bottom floor.
Go check
Sign
it out.
up early.
Actually, we're close to. We just started it fairly recently. We're close to 1,000 subs.
Yeah, get us over 1,000. So my job security isn't that.
Help him out. Help the poor guy. There's probably enough people watching
we do
this
have a
video
cat.
right now
we could put it over
that they could put it over 1,000 if
right
everyone jumped onto the reach and did it. So yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind, that would be a big help for us because that's something that we're trying to build. So bigger that audience gets,
50,
the more fun we can have with it.
50 subscribers.
We need 50 more subs. How many people are watching?
Great question. Can we get that in the chat, please? Or I could just find out.
All right. While you guys figure out how many people are watching currently, although a lot of them are probably already subbed.
Medusa the Hognose co-signs the reach. Yes. We love the reach.
Good times. Next question.
We got 93 people in here. If
93, if half of you aren't subscribed to the reach,
I'm going to assume that a quarter of you are subscribed.
Man, that would help us out a lot.
75% of you guys are clowns.
We have a very supportive audience here. We've already got one of those breeder levels filled.
Oh, we had a very serious question from Brian Cusco.
Uh-oh, let's hear it.
Who does number 2 work for him?
Well,
I did Google that actually today. Because
you didn't know what the reference was?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man.
I'm dating myself here.
Well, Brian, obviously, Thomas is my number 2. And he works for me. Mm-hmm. So, number 2 works for me.
In the context of that quote, I don't know if I should take that as an insult. I watched the whole scene that it was wrong.
Oh, good. Good for you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy yourself. That's money well spent.
I was traumatized.
I'm glad that number 2 works for me and looks these things up on his company time.
Oh, yeah. It took 5 minutes, so just about a 75-cent.
Oh, man. You're welcome.
No, that
75-cent investment in my education of your
Yep.
90s classics music movies.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for that. Herp Panel Forums says,
Doesn't miss
hypothetically,
missing that decade.
if research indicates that Superdwarf localities are not just a subspecies, but a separate species entirely, I know the scientific name you would give them, but would you suggest a new common name? And what name would you give the many hybrids that aren't pure Superdwarf? Sincerely, Steven.
So if you got a bunch of crosses that are in the pet industry or whatever, I think the term Superdwarf is perfect for that. It's already established. Everyone knows what it means. Kind of has some industry standards, meaning you have to have 50% of these certain localities. So I just continue calling those Superdwarfs. If, however, they said, check it out, Carrampas are their own subspecies or something like that, I would give them a new name. And I am not the scientist. The guys that, work that stuff out can do that. But common names are kind of like different people call them different things.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Probably keep.
You know what I'm saying?
Names that they have as far as locality.
Yeah, so you've got raccoons, you've got trash pandas, you've got... No, I'm just kidding, that's not...
Trash panda is a common name. As a scientist myself.
So I don't know, if it was me, I would just call it like the Carrampa python. Maybe that's like...
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I don't know, I like
Carrampa
names
is a cool
like...
name. Carrampa's a super cool name.
Yeah, I like names like, the tufted whatever because it has a tuft. Mm-hmm. Or the ruffled whatever because it has ruffles. Names. Yeah, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like animals like woodpeckers. Mm-hmm. I wonder what they do.
Okay, here's
you know what I'm saying?
Here's a
I don't need to
question
call
out of
it
left
like
field, then.
the red-headed Garrett head slammer or something.
What would be my common name? And then I want to come up with your common
Number
name.
2.
Number 2? The mildly confused, sort of red-headed jerk.
That's my common name? Thanks. You're fired.
Oh, that's my new comment. Unemployed.
Oh,
you can add unemployed
there
to
you
my
go.
comment.
Number 2 just dropped down. Now you're like number 72 now.
Nice. Wait, there's 70 people above me.
Yeah. We only have 9 employees, but you're definitely like number 72.
Sweet.
The real number 2 is over you.
I feel like number 2 would be Rob. That would be the real number 2.
I suppose.
Because remember, Rob is and we're not going to fill in the blank there, but...
Well, I mean, he is the the man with the super chat face.
Do you remember that behind-the-scenes video I made a long time ago where you were talking about...
Rob is my number 2?
In more or less those words.
There you go.
Anyway, our next question.
What do we got?
Breeding, this is from Evan Hoops. Do we have anything in the chat we should address? Medusa Hognose also asked, what is your favorite snake you own? I know it's a hard question.
I don't know.
What's your favorite non-retic that you own?
That's really hard. Non-retic narrows it down. I really like my scaleless corn snake. Just a corn snake. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I can't remember right now. What's the scaleless corn name?
See, mildly confused.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
I'm brain farting it because you asked me here. I like the house snakes are cool. There's so many house snakes though that I don't know if I could even pick a favorite.
You just like house snakes.
I really like my female Tanzanian striped house snake. She's pretty cool. And then I love my KZN T negative or T positive female.
Oh, Ashley for the first time today hops in the chat and says, "Am I not number 2?"
You're number 1, babe.
Hashtag Team Ashley.
In that scenario,
Merch coming 2023.
I would clearly be number 2, sweetheart. Love you.
All right. Well, let's hop in it. We got a couple more questions.
I saw
here.
Christina Hill was talking about Retic Fest July 30th. Yes. We are going to have a big party here at Out Reptiles. All kinds of events. My lovely number 1 wife over there, Ashley, is actually coordinating that through our Patreon thing. So again, if you guys aren't on Patreon, the lower level, that you can join at is really cheap, but everybody on Patreon is going to be invited to attend in person.
It's $5, right? Intro.
Yeah, I think it's $5. $5 a month or whatever. That really helps us out, and then we can have the staffing to plan these kinds of events.
Eric Blake just dropped $5 like a champ, like
Woo-hoo!
it's nothing. And you can also be a champ, like it's nothing.
You do sound like a commercial. Wait, we need the music.
Hold on, I thought I could. Oh, I hate this song, to be honest. I don't know
why you put it in there. It's not much of a dancing song.
No, it's like headbanging. I think this is throwing back to when I had long hair.
You don't have the long hair. What's up, Eric? Slayer!
Do you have any high percent Superdwarf male or female Motley GC available? Could we see one?
Nope. I've got a low percentage one, but she's super cool. I'll go get her. Let me go grab this girl for you. The high percentage stuff, honestly, like, we hardly have ever made them over 50%. Most of them are Dwarf and Superdwarf cross.
All right. We once again tune into the part of the show where I read you guys' chat because I can't answer any of the questions accurately. Martin, you think the stash should come back? I don't know if Ashley would agree with you there. Finley is an icon. Christina, yes. Bop, bop, bop. We go back and look. Krampa sounds like it would have a big butt.
Alright, this girl's pretty sick. So this one is, she's of course in shed because of her camera debut.
Oh, there you go, over my body.
Now this is a dwarf motley golden child, which basically makes an all black snake.
There you go.
She's looking more brownish right now because she's in blue, but she's super dark, really dark head stamp. A lot of times you see light colored heads. She's got a black head as well and light eyes, like white eyes. But this girl also has some really cool birthmarks. Look at this. Now she's supposed to be all black, but on her belly there, you can see those like orange
Dang, those
stripes.
are crazy.
You see those? So that she's got a heavy amount of paradoxing in her, which is really cool. She's also 100% head albino and pus head anery. So that's a nice animal right there.
Moshball says it's also a great place to handpick out your snake. I think they're referring to Retic Fest.
Oh yeah, it was kind of funny. It's supposed to.
How many snakes did we get rid of that weekend?
I don't know. It was probably a dozen or something like that. We weren't supposed to be selling any, but I don't know. Everyone was coming and hanging out with the animals.
It was the first run of Retic Fest.
They're going through all. It's all Patreon. They're hanging out. They're going through, looking at all the babies. Everybody fell in love and took home a souvenir.
Christina's asking, are we naming her?
We should.
Does she have a name?
No, but she's for sale.
All right.
So
well, we'll do that in about 5-ish minutes.
you can think of your names for her.
Ba, 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 ba,
Martin
ba.
Exotics.
Oh, I feel like I want to grab a cowboy hat and just pop it on my head during
This
that
bouncy
song.
couch is working for me.
Fake banjo. For the mustache, Ashley doesn't want.
Woohoo! Sorry, babe. They want the mustache back. You know what I mean?
people
You get the
want what they
mustache.
want.
You allow people on the live. And
Yeah.
I seem to do a lot of shaving of body parts in this show. Do you remember? Oh, that was the podcast when I had to shave my arms.
Okay,
Searchable
you
as
had me
Reptiles
concerned for a
podcast.
sec for what I didn't know. Sometimes what I don't know is scarier than what I do know, and there's a lot of things.
Your
that I
mind
know
always
about
goes
it.
to weird places.
Not always. Sometimes. I give
That's
it a good
part of the
50.
curse of being a creative.
Oh man. I'm getting.
All right. Do we have any
patronized.
more questions on there?
Yes, we do. We have a couple more.
Thanks for the super chat
Evan
support,
Hoops.
guys.
When breeding for double recessive, is it better to breed size first or try to get your morphs in first?
Oh boy, double recessive. If you're starting from scratch, goes a long, long way. I'd say with Dwarf and Superdwarf retics, if you can find a male double recessive mainland and run it to a pure female, that's going to be obviously expensive, but just to buy in, everything else will be much faster. You'll get the small size and the genetics in the first generation. So, but the big thing for me is not going below 50%. I would rather it take longer to get a nice mutation than to go below 50%. Because any lower, I mean, the fact that there's a dwarf motley golden child who is this cool with all that paradoxing,
Man, that's crazy.
sitting here for sale that hatched, in 2021, goes to show that the lower percentage stuff is, I mean, she's probably going to be an 11 to 13 foot animal.
That eye is crazy.
Now, it's really small for a retic, but that's still pretty big for a snake. So now, if she was a high percentage, say, Calatoa or whatever, she could cost 6 times as much as she does, and she'd be sold as soon as she hatched. So I would say stay towards the lower percentage because your market is much larger. Big snakes can only be owned by a few people. Mm-hmm. Smaller the snake, the more people can enjoy it. Most people don't realize that like the pure Superdwarf stuff and a lot of the high percentage crosses are about the size of ball pythons, which are kind of like, everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm cool with a ball python. By weight. They weigh about the same. They're a longer, skinnier snake, but when they coil up or whatever, they look
You're
like a ball
really
python.
not, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not dealing
Talking
with
about
too much.
2,500 grams.
All right,
3,500
this is
grams.
a bit of a deeper question. Rob Lancaster asks, if you want to spend a total of $12,000 on an exciting project as a beginner breeder with 3 to 5 females in 2022 and a male in 3 years, what would you do?
Well, Robbie, it sounds like you've already got the good thing down about like establishing your females and getting a male later. If you're talking about one male, you're talking about one project. You have to pick a project. Now, it could be anything you want, but pick one project. Don't try to do pieds and cows and snows with that few of animals. You know what I mean? If you're going to go for like a snow male, that's something with a lot of variety. You get albinos, you get anneries, you can make everything in between. You can add incomplete dominance like Motley Golden Childs. Oh, we got a super chat.
This is like the only song that actually makes sense to dance.
Well, you need to get some more.
I should. It's annoying to click all the buttons all the time. Bring the stash back.
So do that. If you want to get into like some kind of new morph, like for example, we're working new recessives like genetic stripe into Superdwarf. So I'm pretty sure there's 3 left. Yearling female, 100% genetic stripes. Superdwarf genetic stripes do not exist right now. So
really?
You can grab your 3 females. We'll probably make it, breed it into something. Maybe add an incomplete dominant, bring that in a visual, possibly an albino genetic stripe or something. Mochino genetic stripe in a male Superdwarf if you're talking 2-3 years from now. But you can stock up on your females right now and be producing some of the, among the first to work with that project. So if that's a morph that you like, same thing with pieds,
Christina
stuff like
says
that.
get in
You
on
can
the
grab
Krispies.
Krispy Kremes are
Christina's the
great.
most bullish person I've ever had the pleasure of interacting with.
She loves the Krispy Kremes. I don't blame her.
Hey, but if you know what you like,
yeah,
you know what you like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think in that budget for like the bigger new morph stuff you could do, but you could definitely get into like a cow project and grab yourself some phantom females. You could get into a snow project, get some double hets, maybe with incomplete dominance in there. And being that they're females, just focus on small size bloodlines. It won't be as important on the male side, but you want those small females because that's what's really going to keep the longevity of your project going as you work towards smaller and smaller animals. What was our
Spencer
super
Vance
chat?
says, bring
What's
the
up,
stash
Spence?
back. What eggs are on the ground? Tell Garrett to forgive me, please.
Oh boy, man, we have lots of eggs on the ground. We have snakes on the ground. Again, Joe's coming in next week. Aiden is going to spend almost all next week taking pictures of new babies.
Yep, we're getting a
We
light
have some
box
really
in.
high percentage stuff for the snow project. We have normal, they'd be het annery, posset albinos, or anneries that are posset albino. High percentage snow stuff. We just hatched, I don't want to talk about it too much because we're going to have like a run on the bank scenario, but we did just hatch some Sunfire and normal 50% Calatoas that are 100% double het purple pieds.
Wow.
I know.
Is that a first for us?
Those aren't going to, this is kind of like a first, this, to my knowledge, this will be the first time that anybody's offered 50% Calatoa het pieds. And they're actually het purple albino and possibly Sunfire. Now, those aren't going to be cheap, but they hatched. They exist. I got to get pictures. We got to get them up on the website.
All right, we got 4 more questions to get through.
Do it,
And
do
then
it,
we're going to
do
name
it.
a snake.
Go.
Forrest Crab asked, is a boa the best alternative to a dwarf retic for a large-ish tree climber?
Superdwarf would be the best alternative to a dwarf retic. Watch our Superdwarf versus the world. We go through a lot of stuff like that. Boas are big. They're heavy-bodied. So, you know what I mean? If you're getting, like, a dwarf retic can get 10 or 11 feet pretty easily, and boas almost never get that long. But even, like, a 9-foot boa is going to be, like, 1.5 to 2 times the size, maybe, of an 11-foot retic.
Jeez.
So they're a much heavier-bodied animal. So, I don't know. Our arboreal stuff... I don't know why you don't want the dwarf retic. Like if you're saying I want something cheaper or more available, yeah, carpet python, boas, those are great.
Garden Exotics is going to
Carpets
be sad
are probably the
if you
most
don't have a
similar.
Mustache by Timley, October.
I was gonna say by Tinley 2 weeks from now, I'm good, but I'm not know if I'm
Just-
that good.
Give a good old
I
ginger
could look a
squeeze.
little scruff. Ginger squeeze. Didn't we have who did we name last week? We named one of the snakes.
Lemon
Lemon
not lemon
squeeze?
drop. I don't remember what
It
it
was
was.
some orange.
It was Nathan
squeeze?
C. I remember he named
Nathan,
it.
what did you name the snake last week? Something squeeze. It wasn't ginger
It
squeeze.
threw me off. right, let's move
He's
on.
laughing about my red mustache.
While we wait
Go,
for that
next question. Look how cute this girl's being. She's all cuddled in.
Stephen Lucas is wondering, of all large constrictors, what are large constrictors that you've seen mixed breed?
He's talking about hybrids.
For example, have you seen a female rock python bred with a male retic or female?
There's never been any African rocks and retics bred. Retics have bred with Burmese pythons. Burmese pythons have bred with ball pythons. We have seen African rock pythons and Indian pythons. There's been Burmese pythons with African rock pythons. But, retics, the only hybrids that have ever been done with retics are the Burmese pythons. They call them bat eaters. And then Timor pythons, which are hybrids, but they're same genus hybrids. So they're like a very closely related species.
All right.
So
next question, native Nebraskan. Shout out Nebraska.
what's up, Nebraska?
What's the status of your house snake project?
They're awesome. They're thriving. They're growing. We have another big shipment that's basically going to double our collection.
Do you consider them a project, or do you consider
We've hatched 5 clutches of them so far.
Privately managed personal collection?
Yeah, I'm not actually selling any of the house snakes as of yet, but I can tell you, if you go on Instagram, you follow C&B Reptiles. My buddies Caleb and Bill down there, and Dana, of course, and Stella. I grabbed the whole pile of little babies and dropped.
Yeah, I helped you do that.
Yeah, they bought 5 more of our Dwarf and Superdwarf retics. So if you're trying to get some of the cheaper ones or whatever, they'll have those over at C&B at their pet shop. They do ship as well, and they're currently the only place that you can go to get some house snakes from us.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I sent them a bunch just to play with and see. They've got to get them established and stuff, but there are some house snakes out there.
Nathan Sees says,
We're
name
piling
Fresh
them up.
Squeeze.
Fresh Squeeze, that's what it was, not Ginger Squeeze.
Last
She's
question.
cute
before
again,
we
but
name
every
the
time I
snake.
move her, she wakes up. Look,
Right.
she's like going to sleep on my hand. Look at this cuteness. Hi, cute.
Up on my head. There you go.
Look at the cute snake. She's so cute. Look at
All
those,
right.
almost blue
Kevin
eyes.
Poe asked, why are Superdwarfs so expensive?
Ooh, expensive is a relative term. If a Superdwarf was $5,000, you might think it was expensive, but if you bought a car that was brand new for $5,000, you would say it was cheap. So the question, Kevin Poe, is what are you comparing them to? You can get a Dwarf and Superdwarf cross, kind of like the more readily available wild type stuff, starting around $350. I don't think that's very expensive for a snake that's going to get 7 to 9 feet, because you're going to spend way more than that just setting up the enclosure for that animal. So to me, that doesn't seem super expensive. But if you have very expensive taste and you want, I wouldn't say ball pythons are expensive. You can probably get one for $15. But at the same time, if you want to go down to where we were at Kabilka's place from last week's video and cherry pick that triple recessive homozygous animal that I was in love with, that's going to be pretty expensive. So it kind of just depends on what you're comparing them to. If you've been shopping, say, mainlands, and now you want to get into Superdwarfs, well, then I can tell you there are more people producing mainlands and more baby mainlands being produced than there are people shopping for them. So it's really easy to get into a gigantic retic at next to nothing. I'm sure that we could make a phone call and I could probably have 20 or 30, or honestly, really, just with my connection, I could probably have 500 free mainlands by the end of the night. You know what I mean? Because of unwanted animals being created.
So what I'm hearing is, if you want a free mainland, call Garrett. He's got the connect
Supply
on
and
that.
demand. Oh, man, for sure. If you guys want to buy mainlands, you're thinking about buying a cute baby mainland, call me. I'll get you a breedable version of the same one for probably the same price. Because every day people are saying, hey, can you help me rehome this? Can you help me rehome that? So, but they're more expensive because there's very few people breeding good quality ones. And a lot of people who want them, it's important to have good quality if you want to keep the small size. So you can buy a cheaper one, and even from us, about $350, you're going to get a good quality animal. You know, but if you're like, oh, I want all the cool morphs, or I want super tiny pure locality, of course you're going to pay more. Karampas would be expensive, for example, because there's 4 adults left in the whole country that are breeding, and that's it. You know,
Supply and demand.
Yeah, we're the only place that's ever produced them, and we can't even make enough for ourselves to hold back to keep the project sustainable. So if you want to get one away, it's going to cost you.
All right, well, we're about to tap out. Before we do, we're going to name a snake. God Butcher, I see your question. Go ahead and drop that on the post. That's going to go up in about 2 minutes. We'll get to that next week. Do you want to go ahead and show it off for a second?
All right, so you remember, she's a dwarf Motley Golden Child. Now, this one is for sale, so I can't guarantee that the name will stay with her, but we can name her tonight because she's here. She's super cute.
Keep going.
Come on.
There you go.
Look at those rainbows. She's
All right.
almost all black. She's in blue right now, so it's a little bit brownish.
There you go.
She's got white eyes, and then she's got these really cool, like, almost tiger shark looking, paradoxing. Come here, baby. Show off.
So this is the part of the show where you name a snake. Go ahead and drop your name suggestions. If you win, we'll send you an email. You send us an email first. We'll send you an email.
Have you looked at any of the names? Don't look at them. I'm going to read them, and you're going to pick.
Oh, man.
But you have to hold the snake.
Oh, man. All right.
That's the deal.
What's up, baby?
All right. Okay, we're gonna switch this up right now. Let's see here. Okay, wait. How do I scroll through?
You scroll.
You scroll on a mouse? Oh, that sounds complicated. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Whoa! Someone wants a purple albino just as a pet. You know, we were selling purple males for $850 last year. Dwarf and Superdwarf. Sleepy Storm Night for sale. Because we have not for sale, get it? Victoria, Sir Patrick Stewart, Bingo, Mustachete. Hey, your feed just went black.
Well, that's the camera dying? Question mark. Well, they can still hear us.
All right, Machete. I would experiment. You broke the live stream, man. That is not a name. Okay, Satin, Blowtorch. Let's see, Cocoa Puff, Lulu, Poop Emoji, Night Fury. Halloween, because of orange and black. Gorgeous. Espresso, Toothless. Atalanta. Elvira. Aurora. God Butcher.
Did I hear
Pardax.
Atlantis? Did I hear Atlantis?
You heard Atalanta and Elvira.
Well.
No Atlantis, you can't name her that. Jackie Lantern. Paradox. Grease. Cruella Dusk. Abisa. Garrett's Mustache. Added the Reach channel. Dream Big did. We're up to 954. Guys, everyone go subscribe to the Reach channel in the description. Please help us. Andromeda. Princess Para Sprinkle. Andromeda it is. SR Net.
Dark, deep, purple.
We got
blue.
another patron.
SR Net is, I'm pretty sure it's not our first time.
No.
All right, SRNet, go ahead and drop us an email to Thomas@reticulated.com.
Thomas@reticulated.com.
We'll send you a picture, and
we're actually not with a dead camera right now. We're just showing this beautiful all black Motley Golden Child named Andromeda.
Hold on. We'll fix this right before the we have to go.
Yeah, whatever.
Video capture. I'm gonna just go to our webcam.
Oh man.
We're
back, kind of,
sort
of,
of,
a little bit. Here.
Horribly.
There's Andromeda. Thomas broke it again. Thumbs up if you like when Thomas breaks the live feed.
Hey, I didn't break it.
We're gonna get a lot of likes. If you guys don't mind helping us out, please jump over to the Reach. The description's in the thing, and hit us up with a sub over there. Really like to get over 1,000. That would be awesome. It would help us out a lot. And we'll catch you next time.
We will catch. Okay, Patreon.
At the camera.
It's all Patreon. And so,
all Patreon.
If you're a part of Patreon, go ahead and hop on Discord.
We'll see you guys
Sorry
there.
if you don't make the cut for the 25. We get popping sometimes. So, anyway, you guys have a good night. We will catch you next week.